Hi again, Phoenix. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Haha! Nah, don't worry. This might be a bit strange for me, but I guess at least I'll keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last one to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Phoenix. I hope it isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Now come on, like he deserves any slack. Saturday told me you didn't even want to join clubs this year anyways, and last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you surely have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plumps back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Phoenix always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without even asking. Like cooking and cleaning my room and washing my... How dependable. Saori, that's because your room is so messy and it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two really are good friends, aren't you? I might be a bit jealous. How come? You and Phoenix can be good friends too. Saori. As usual, Saori seems obvious to the weird situation she put us into. Oh, you even bought something today, you know? Wait, Saori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Saori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First off, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'd make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. I thought it was sort of more of like a traditional book club where they read books together. So they all had the same book and they would get together and discuss the same book that they're reading, but I guess it's just they get together and they read whatever the hell they want, which is fine too, I guess. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is how is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thought I'd like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you! I'll definitely read this! I enthusiastically take the book. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Saori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is always buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ugh! I hear Natsuki utter an exacerbated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her, in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Frickin' Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right place. What's the point of keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki hand slides a bunch of... I don't know where hands came out of that. Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga. You read manga, right? Hell yeah. Sometimes. Manga is one of the things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. Fair enough. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the sack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it from my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Much better. Seeing a box set with one missing book is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can do it through the glass on the door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was just the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Phoenix. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Perfect Girls from the box. I'm going to show you exactly why. She shoves the box right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly mo. You know, that's one of those terms that always constantly comes up in any sort of Japanese media, and I don't really know what that means. I think it just means cute Japanese girl. Maybe. I don't know. I've had it described to me 100 times, 100 different ways, so I'm not even sure anymore. Then just stand there. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. You can't read at the same time like that. Why is that? I guess it's easier to be closer together like this. Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. They didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can really say it's particularly a bad thing. I opened the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I don't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I've read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through older volumes every now and then? Nope. I read it once and goodbye. Rarely ever. Something must be really, really good for me to go back and read it, or someone brings it up. Like I'm discussing a chapter or volume with someone, and I'll forget. And then I'll go back, but usually I'll just read it once and then that's it. Not that I have anything against going back, I'm fine just reading it once, and then I have a really good memory when it comes to that, so I get more or less the gist of everything, so I'm good to go. Very rarely I'd have to say I'd ever felt like rereading something. Like, I'm not the kind of person that buys DVDs for movies and watches them over and over again. It's just, I don't know, it's just not my thing. Not really. Maybe sometimes after I finish the series. Hey, are you paying attention? Man, me and Natsuki are like... I don't know what any of this was, but I had no other way of... I didn't want to do this. I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there gonna be plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that doesn't have plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like, there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with a guy at the ice cream shop. But that just helps you get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like, when you get into all their backstories, and when some of the romances start to happen, that's really what makes it good. There are so many touching parts. Ah, is that so? Sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait! What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just meant that I haven't yet seen you at your full power. Get save. This chapter seems like it's about baking. I guess it's just a guess, but is there a lot of baking in this manga? Well, Natsuki pauses for a moment, as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah. Why does that matter? It doesn't, I'm just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got this manga. Like, I would ever get into anything because it's in a manga. I really feel bad for anyone that impressionable. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all of the hobbies to pick from a manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Oh, okay, I can't use... I was trying to see if I can use the arrow keys to go next. I don't know how annoying it is to constantly hear clicks. In any case. Not to mention she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? Man, this is the girl that I said was not cute, and now I'm going. That's the one I'm going after. We read on for a few more minutes. I finished a couple of chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not. Even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I've always get excited when I convince one of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? Yeah, that's not, well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like, I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga's for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, eh? You haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch him in the face. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes lots of effort to find friends who don't judge. Much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitate toward other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, why can't I just win? Oh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, I'm here reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe, but at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So... Alright, whatever, asshole. Yeah, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her, but since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. There's stark contrast to her usually bossy tone. But I guess, or rather, but if she's not used to staring her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feelings you get when you're connected with someone like this. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's rare an experience, the thought made me smile a little bit to myself. Okay, everyone! Huh? Are you ready for today's poems? Ah, shit. Oh, come on! Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, I guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but Monica just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Eh? Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish it if you don't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow, so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow? I only got part way through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this, but I suppose it's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Am I more scared of what would happen if I don't finish it? Alright then, I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slide the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I've agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find any inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't we find someone to share it with? I can't wait! Saori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Saori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica writes hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching out into their bags. I do the same myself. Oh boy, who should I show my poem to first? I guess I'll just do it Natsuki, because, I mean, we're only doing this because of her to begin with, and she's the one that I've actually bonded with, I guess. But I guess I could have inversely bonded with someone. I'll try to be as realistic as possible, because if it was me, I would have picked the girl that I've spent most of the day with, obviously. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I'd share mine with her first. Okay, let's start with the things I don't like. First off, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion. What was the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have done other things, you know. In fact, I remember how I said I wanted to read your poems. That's what I had in mind when writing this. I wanted to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours, like Monica said. Well, I wouldn't be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You're supposed to show me some dumbass poem and make me go, ha, you fucking suck. But no, you gave me something really great. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you really liked it? Yeah. Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. You're so... You just don't understand anything, do you? I already told you, you don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that, but okay. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Yeah, fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Ugh. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, but people can try. That's about it. That was lame, but also very deep at the same time. Yeah. Oh, I can do this. Oh, okay, cool. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. Like it? What? Just be honest. I am. Alright, I guess I said I like it. I like it? Why are you so concerned that I wouldn't like it? What? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yeah, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like this poem. Seeing people around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but made it fall flat on purpose. Fair enough. It helps bring out the feelings in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into that than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Don't expect that from the youngest one here, did ya? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I didn't really care how old anyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take it away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? We'll go for Yuri. Yuri's cute. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes. More than enough time for her to finish reading it. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not... I just need to put my thought into words. Hold on, okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. Oh, so it's that bad? No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. Yuri buries herself in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gone anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stamina is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't it supposed to be the literature club? Jesus Christ. Ghost under the lights. The tender drills of my hair illuminate behind the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calms, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Hella deep, I guess. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. Are you kidding me, lady? What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is really pretty. Yeah? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even if it's short, it was very descriptive. Wasn't it too short? I usually write long poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Phoenix.
Really? I must have really missed that part.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They often do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her past, remaining a place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left without nothing.
That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
Who should I show my poem to next? Alright, I guess at this point I'd get the ball and share with Monica.
Hi, Phoenix. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it.
By the way, since you're new at everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things that we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. Much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Phoenix. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true.
And Monica, my poem. I like it, Phoenix.
Really?
It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No, it's kinda makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment.
If you say so.
Yep. By any chance, have you read anything by Shel Silverson?
Why does that sound so familiar?
Yeah? Maybe a long time ago. He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anyone.
I see.
So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably wouldn't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Oh, wrong course. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you trying new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Haha. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good either. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Well, hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction, the sparkle, is that sparkle? I think that's spackle. The sparkle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I will never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No! I can't see. I feel blind. I feel like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched, with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It's not too bright. It's not too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. Realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's alright. Yeah, that's the kind of style that's gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be very powerful. What was the inspiration? What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a lot. It's been influencing my poems a bit. Epiphany? That is epiphany, right? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes, when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Any other way to think about it? Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening. I'm sure I gave her a very appropriate voice. Alright, so finally, go with the last person here, Saori.
This is a good poem, Phoenix. Are you sure it's your first time?
Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write it at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room.
Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Phoenix. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people can do.
Thanks, Saori. I'm not sure if Saori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure...
Excuse me. I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here too, okay?
That would be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then.
Yay! Now, you read my poem too, alright? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not bad. I want breakfast.
Sorry. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No! Just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you were late to school?
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing.
Anyways, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
Next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. Yeah. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing skills. Except for my girl Natsuki, she liked my shit, and then Monica was okay with it. Saori... Wait, everyone thought it was okay except Yuri. What the hell are you talking about? Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. Fair enough. I sigh. I guess that's all that's left, or rather, I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Saori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? It's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you can say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is, cute. Cute. Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I did have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I could have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Saori liked it, and Phoenix did too. So based on that, I'd gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First off, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I can come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Phoenix liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh! I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Phoenix appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Ha! How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go on my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Phoenix started showing up. Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Phoenix, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out to the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain this to her, Phoenix. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning most effectively. Avoiding them is not only necessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Phoenix? Well... Oh boy. How did I get myself dragged into this in the first place? Not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course it's gonna be.